They said $20, didn't they? They said
10, said 10.
There she got 10.
Okay, give me 10 back, because that's my last 10.
These gas when you get home. We gotta have some gas money. All right.
I'm not
I'll
fine.
take
Now, Sherry, you
Probably not.
We'll do that after.
We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Opening session invocation by Ricky Dodson, pledge of allegiance by Ben Danner.
Hey, before we get ready to pray, let's remember Eddie Dial this week as a passing the office. He was a big part of the Overton County school system, so remember her tonight and their family. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this great day. We thank you for watching over, Father, and keeping us safe and healthy, Father. We ask this everything we do tonight to be first and foremost pleasing to you, Father, and be for the best interest for the children and the staff of the Overton County school system, Father. Father, I pray for Evie this night, Lord. Dial, Lord, you just comfort her during this time, Lord, and surround people around her that love with her, Father. Father, and we just ask you to forgive us when we fail you. For in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has everybody had a chance to review last month's meeting minutes? Got a motion by Ben to approve.
I'll
We have a
second.
second by Ms. Ashley. Any discussion? We'll take a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. Do we have any additions or deletions to tonight's proposed agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of it. Do I have a motion?
Can I do, I'm so sorry, I usually print you all a thing out, but my computer was doing updates when Kim and I got back from our meeting. Can we add on the consent item number 1, that should be 13 and 14. I was gonna do just one amendment, but to keep the grant straight in our budget, I went ahead and separated those out. So it should be 13 and 14 on that one.
Okay.
And then also a number 6, and that is going to be the quarterly reports. And then number 7 is going to be Fund 177, Revision 3.
Fund 177,
Yes, please.
revision 3.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was writing.
All right, we have a motion to amend the agenda as stated.
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion by William, second by Ben. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. All right, moving on for the approval of the June 23rd, 2026 meeting agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ricky.
Second.
Second by Ms. Alice. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. We do not have any executive items to consider tonight, so we'll move on to the consent agenda items. Item number 141, general purpose schools revision, number 13 and number 14. Attachment 1. Number 2, 142, federal programs revision, number 9, attachment 2. Number 3, 143, central cafeteria revision, number 1, attachment 3. Have any discussion on that?
Are these just mainly cleaning up all of the line items and everything?
Yes, yeah, for year end. So this is our final amendments.
So what's everybody, is it looking all right? I mean,
Yes. Yep, we've got them covered.
Any more discussion? Could I get a motion? Motion by Mike, second by William. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. New business, item number 1, consider approval of the following letters of retirement. Donnie Holman, Robin Long, and Dolores Carr, attachment number 4.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Ricky to accept those, Do we have a second? Second by Ben Banner. Any discussion?
I'd like to thank all those people for working for the school system for as long as they did, and the great service they gave us.
Anybody else? All those who, in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion carries to accept the retirement of letters. Number 2, consider approval of the following letters of resignation. Tammy Calmez, Shaylin Miller, Shanette Todd, Ronald Harris, Emily Key, and April Stover, attachment number 4. Any discussion on those? I entertain a motion to accept. Got a motion by Ms. Ashley, second by Ben. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. Item number 3, consider approval to rescind FY 27 Federal Projects Fund number 142, original budget approved at the May meeting, and approve the revised copy, attachment number 5. Any discussion on that one?
What's the difference on that one?
Ms.
It's
Crystal?
all the same, except the bookkeeper forgot to add her revenue number. So we had expenditures with no revenue, but she added our revenue and all as well.
Well, that's always good, we got everything.
Yes, definitely.
All right, do I have a motion to accept for passing?
Motion.
A motion by Ben, second by William. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. Item number 4, consider approval of the PE Health Science and CTE certification of adoption by the local Board of Education, attachment number 6. Any discussion? Can I entertain a motion? Got a motion by Ricky, second by Ashley. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. Item number 5, consider approval of the FY 27 consolidated application approval for IDEA and ESEA school year 2026-2027 as outlined in E-Plan. Any discussion? Could I entertain a motion? Got a motion by Ms. Ashley, got a second by Ben. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. All right, with the special recognitions,
No, we got the board report.
oh, sorry, yeah, I missed it, wrote it down, I still missed it. All right, number 6, quarterly reports, any discussion?
So they're, I mean, since end of year one, I guess, since it's
This one is just through March. Of course, we won't get through the Junes until we close the books and everything, which will probably be August.
everything on that through March.
Yes, yeah, everything through March is good.
Any more discussion? Entertain a motion to, got a motion by William, second by Mike. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. Item number 7, Fund 177, Revision 3. Any questions or discussion?
On 177, it was just, we had added a little more, of course, you just kind of guess on the building program, so that's our building program fund. And I think the building construction come out like 100,000 more than we had estimated, so I just moved it out of architects because it was less, so it's just a shift in funds.
I have a motion. A motion by William to approve, second by Ms. Melissa. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. Now, with the special recognitions. OCEA, Ms. Jennifer Hull.
Now, are you sure?
I was ready to jump in. I got to bring it back.
Happy summer. Don't blink, it'll be over before you know it. The only thing that I wanted to bring you is I was contacted by several teachers asking about pay raises for the coming year. And I told them that the board is required to do that final step of the required state raise. But they asked me to ask you, which it's always in everybody's heart, if there's any way that more can come our way, we would appreciate it. It's a tight time for everybody, and I know it is for the school system also. But just keep us in mind. And all the staff, not just the teachers, not just the certified people. Everybody's struggling. So if there's any way you can help anybody or everybody, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Do we have anybody sign up for public comment? Okay. All right. Before we adjourn, I just want to, Ricky alluded to it in a prayer, just want to talk about Dolphus Dow. I had the pleasure of serving on the school board with him. He had a long career in the education system, served as director of schools from 96 to 99, and several years as a school board member, and a very distinguished career. It's very sad that we lost him, and so we just ask everybody to keep his wife and his family in your prayers, and he was a good guy. I hate that we lost him. All right. I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ricky to adjourn. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Alice. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, nay. Motion passes. We're ready to move into the work session. Item number 1, review the building program contingency costs.
So Crystal gave everybody a copy of this in your packet. I'll update this every time we have a meeting with contractors, which, by the way, we have one tomorrow, if anybody wants to attend, for all 3 schools. Then we'll do the high school, I think, at 2 o'clock, since they're doing that. But just, I put the amount spent, the reason for the contingency out there, and what our balance is. Then off to the far right, so the total that we have available now is 1.4 million. That's out of the total $20 million, the 14 million bond and the 6 million we used out of fund balance. You can see Hillham, we've had a lot of different things come up throughout the course of the project that we've had to do. That last one, the main lobby, classroom, carpet removal, that number's kind of tentative right now. That's the number they gave us, but we're working through that. Hopefully I'll have a final number on that tomorrow. Obviously with the LA gym, we've not run across any contingencies yet. Hopefully we won't, but you can just look through there. If they've got a question mark on the spend, that's some open things that we have waiting for numbers to come back from the contractor to give us out there. But overall, looking pretty good right now. Hopefully our next project's at the bottom, carpet removal here at the central office, then the Wilson, Hillham, and LMS gym floor. So hopefully we can try to get majority of those knocked out with what's remaining in the balance there. So.
Is that what the one that says Hillham, is that what that is? It says relocation or whatever, or is that the basketball court outside? That's the one outside?
That was the one outside. Yeah, so.
So are they all going kind of time-wise, like?
So Hillham's probably behind further than anybody else. Allen's is probably gonna be, they told us October completion, but they're really bullish on that. They're saying August, that we could be ready to go.
This August or next August?
This August.
No, this August.
So they said August, they may not have said the year.
That's true. Well, they have timelines, so. But Rickman, obviously the rain kind of held them back the last few weeks, but I know they had to do the micro piles, which took forever to get that done. The cafeteria expansion, they've got the walls up, the roof up on it. That should be ready to go by the time school starts back. Then they had to do some interior work to tie the new building on, which all that should be done by the time school starts back. So hopefully they'll start block on that pretty soon. We'll get an update tomorrow. But Hillham, all the footers are done. Hopefully block's going up. I haven't been out there since 2 weeks ago, so we'll look at that and see. But
Block is going up. I
yeah,
drove by that.
so I'd say Hillham's the furthest behind of them all. Rickman's probably a couple weeks, but not too bad, because Rickman had the longest of all. I think they had about a year and a half timeline on theirs, where everybody else had the full year. So
They've hauled some blocks in at Rickman, so they're getting pretty close to
yeah,
laying something.
and once block go up, then things will start going a lot quicker. So
I want to thank you, Mike, for doing all that for us. Appreciate it.
Any more discussion on that? All right, moving on to number 2, review the 2026-2027 pay schedule.
So this one on the teachers gets us up to whatever the state said we had to.
Yes, that would be the autumn lift, that 50,000 right there.
So I think the state says we had to increase the minimum start by 50,000 by the end of this year. But do we do 25 across the board for everybody?
That is what
That's
is
what's on here, yes.
Then the support, what's on that one? Is it $1? Is it?
It's $1 across the board, except for the ones that we, a couple of years ago, kind of messed up, and we did 2 for some and 1 for some.
Okay.
Kind of got them off balance, so those will get the 2 this time, and we'll do $1 across the board, but $2 for those who didn't get it. That should catch us back up to
But
put us.
then the reason we did that 2 and 1 is because it was kind of messed up at that point too, if I'm not mistaken. You may remember this.
I think the big thing, if I'm not mistaken, the big thing was when we did the percentage of the substitute teacher thing.
Yeah, it pushed
People
it.
could go and sub and make more than they could on this hourly pay scale. I think that was one of the reasons.
We expected 4 or 5 people, that, right? When we made the mistake that
few
time.
categories. Yeah, there's some 1s and 2s on this list.
Well, and what also happened with that is when we went to this pay scale several years ago, we had 5 different pay scales that we were pulling. And some of the pay scales had the starting pay for that person maybe $3 or $4 higher than the other pay scale that they were on. So when we had to readjust all of that, it made a big difference with some people that they got a really high raise and other people didn't. So I guess over the past few years, all we've been trying to do is balance this out. So when we say $1 across the board, we mean $1 across the board. We're not having to give anybody any extra or it seem unfair.
But the ones who got the bigger raise were behind.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, and so we've just sort of playing catch up on all this right here to make sure that it's where it was. Because during the middle of that is when we also got the information that showed that we were like, I believe, number 2 in the state in pay. And so we had to bump everybody up on that also. That was a big eye opener when we had that. And so it's just been a crazy time for the past few years trying to get payroll in order.
Okay, what about our subs and our,
That will actually be here on the last page. I think the last meeting that we had, we actually lowered the classified down, the percentage base. I still think that we should keep that as a percentage base because I don't want to have to come back every single meeting and vote for a different amount. If we keep it as a percentage base, then that means as things change, we can do that. We can adjust what the percentage will be for that person to make sure that it's in line. But as long as we keep it as a percentage base, as we give more raises in the future, it will just sort of follow that up and increase a little bit with it.
The classified gets 40%, and then the certified gets 60%. So this year, in 25-26, the certified was $142.50. That's 60% of the base pay.
For a
Since
new
we're going
teacher,
up
correct?
for a certified teacher, yes. And then for this year, if this passes and which we have to be the base of 50,000, it goes up to $150 for certified, and then the classified would go up to $100 based on the dollar raise on that pay scale. So I talked to other districts and how they do. Most of them said they don't sub for EAs, cafeteria, custodial. We try to, when you're trying to do inclusion, the SPED aides, we try to sub when we can, with custodials and things like that. They said the best way that they do it is they take that classified amount, divide it by 7.5, and that's the hourly rate. That keeps it even so that you don't have somebody who's subbing for an EA making more than someone who's subbing for a teacher because they're making the same. Does that make sense?
Because I think at one point, the way we put it in was that our support staff, that they would make the base rate of whatever position that was, which if you go back and look at
Like
this.
$16 an hour.
Yeah, if you go back to this right here and you look at it like a regular cook, if we put it in there, that'd be $16 an hour.
Where this
That-
is
that's substitute.
$13.33.
Yeah.
You might do the hourly rate.
Yeah.
Are we able to get substitutes? I mean, do we have a problem?
We don't. I think, and if you look at this, we are above the average. So the high is 175. That's only one district that does that at 175. I think you said you all were up in your certified.
certified to 200 a day.
But there's only a few people that do it that high. The average is at 101.89 and we're at 142.50, which we will be at 150. So that, I mean, and then the classified, the average is 85 and the high is 120 for us. That's the whole Upper Cumberland.
Okay, that's what I asked, because I didn't know if
This
that's
was
one county.
done,
It's paid
I
for.
don't know what exactly this Cumberland County, took a poll and took everybody's amounts, and then she sent this out so that we would know, as far as the Upper Cumberland, the highs and lows of the sub-pay.
And the reason that we changed it originally to like the percentage base and everything, because it came to the part where we had the problem where we were calling subs, getting them, and then Putnam County would call and say, hey, we need a sub, and they would no-show us. So we would think we had somebody for that position, and then they no-showed us. And that's when we went to the percentage base, and yes, we did do it a little bit high on there. We have adjusted that since then, but I still believe that we should leave it at that percentage
It's
base.
percentage of the start pay is what,
Yes.
okay. I didn't know if it went off certified, off years.
Because at one point, I think we went several meetings that it was on the meeting agenda every single month for us to vote on sub-pay increase.
I think we're very competitive on the sub-pay now, based on what I could pull my text, and we're pretty much ahead of,
And
most
that,
districts.
and that helps us when we do need a sub, that we're not having to fight to get a sub. We're at a place where we can easily get those subs.
So when the teacher comes from another system, can you hire them on the years, like starting on whatever year they've been certified
I
or
think
whatever?
that's what we typically do, is when they come from another system, we take that into consideration.
When they come to work for us?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then if they have tenure, correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, but if they have tenure, we have 1 year to reinstate that tenure, or we have to fire them.
Well, we
Once you
can
go
grant them tenure if we choose to grant them tenure based off of their LOE and how they perform. But we don't necessarily fire them if they don't get granted tenure.
It means that, I guess, where I guess my confusion on the firing is that we have to give them the letter that we didn't rehire.
Like a
them.
non-renewal letter.
Yes.
Any more discussion?
What they're talking about for, I mean, we're working on the budget, but is there any room to do any more?
We already had that already in the budget.
That's-
That was already budgeted in, just because we knew that was an amount that we would have to do on the lower end, and we were trying to keep it consistent across the board. So we already factored that into the budget when we balanced it before.
So I mean, there's not, what I'm getting at is there's not room to do more in this budget, right?
As far as teachers' salaries.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is the insurance increased 10%.
We
And-
covered all that? Okay.
Yeah, we factored in that we knew it was gonna increase. So we just didn't know the amount until recently, but it was,
2 weeks ago.
I was hoping for around 7 or 8%, and it increased 10%, so.
Well, I mean, that helps because I know some counties maybe give a raise, but then they don't pay the
Right.
difference in insurance, and you're actually making less.
That's why I was trying, we lost a math teacher, I was trying to tell him, there was a math teacher that had applied and they decided to go to another district, and I was like, did you tell them that we pay 100% of their insurance, because it will make a difference? But they were gonna take a coaching job anyway,
So part of the problem is we are required by the state to meet salary at a certain point. The funding, piece of funding, did not increase this year compared to last year, correct?
Ours didn't, so the base per student did, but then there's so many variables in our TISA funding formula you would think just off the top of your head, okay, well, the base increase, so we're gonna get at least for 2,700 students, that base increase of $200 and something dollars. But when you take the other fluctuations and variables in the funding formula, it kind of offsets those differences sometimes. So if you lose a student, obviously that costs
But the-
$8,000 essentially.
But the requirement to pay the teachers is higher with no more funding from the state. The Putnam County School District lost TISA money because their ability to pay local improved from the year before, and so the state took some of the TISA money away from them.
The state funded more for vouchers, though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Want to talk about that a while?
Well, and the thing that we've been seeing also is that all the numbers statewide are decreasing in public school systems, so that's affecting our funding also.
Except the CAP county, but that was because of the virtual, we had that meeting, that regional, they got like a lot more students than several hundred, I guess. Just the virtual school, I guess, that's our.
Yeah, that presents a whole set of problems all on its own, we found out when we were looking into doing that ourselves.
Because every one was probably a decrease, and they were like 20 or 30% increase.
Yeah.
You gotta watch your numbers, your test scores, and all those other variables that Crystal's talking about with your virtual.
Options, your
There's
learning
so many
needs, which
things
are
in that
special ed
area that
options and
are unable to be
CTE,
controlled. You
course
can't
code.
control any of that.
Right.
But we're still held
Population
accountable.
In a certain area too, and it really has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables that's factored into that formula, and Kim and Leslie have worked diligently to try to help with that CTE coding, making sure that it's all correct. I think that may have been some of the issue at some of the counties, and even us, if that is not exactly right, it will.
Us incorrectly, it gives you either way too much funding or not enough.
So.
Kind of makes you miss that old BEP, doesn't it?
It does a little bit, yes.
And one thing that I know that a lot of times now we don't look at the benefits, but that is one good thing that we do is we pay 100%
Yes,
of our
that's
teachers'
correct.
insurance.
Yes.
That's a great
And
benefit, and
you-
we
you-
appreciate that.
You have to think that the starting out teacher, if it's $50,000 and it's costing us $10,000 to do the insurance for that year, that means their starting pay to us is automatically $60,000. And I know they don't see that.
The upper 10 is before taxes with the cafeteria fund too,
Yeah.
so that helps too.
Did the school system start doing that when they done the Affordable Health Care Act, or had they done it before that?
No.
No,
We
I think
it was
we-
back
We got that in place several years ago.
in 2000.
The reason I asked, like, the county was behind, because the county always offered insurance, and other counties didn't, but other counties paid more. So when the Affordable Care Act come in, other counties were already paying more, and then they added the insurance, and that put us way behind on trying to pay employees, because we were paying several dollars less, but we were offering insurance than everybody was, so.
Well, but it's a law in Tennessee, those other counties can't reduce the amount of salary that a teacher is paid, or I guess a staff member, maybe across the board, from one year to the next. So they were already paying a lot more, they couldn't go back and say, okay, well, we'll switch this out, and we'll pay more towards insurance and less towards salary. They had to keep paying the salary. So y'all do wanna catch up with that, right?
Well, and one thing that we have to keep in mind too, when, a couple of years ago, when we found that we had to be fair completely across the board, that also means that our support staff, that if they do opt into our insurance, we're giving them an additional $10,000 a year because we're paying for their insurance as well.
That's correct. Have you took in consideration too, I'm sure you have in the budget, like next year when we get our new buildings done, we'll have to hire some extra people for custodians and probably full-time maintenance. There'll be 3 or 4 more positions there.
Unless they just don't have enough people to move to the new section of the building, or they move to the new section and they're just, I just hope that we don't get to that point. I want our numbers to increase. And from what I'm looking at, just looking at enrollment for next year, it looks like we're about 20 off. And that's not bad, because I know we can pick up 20 on registration
Yes.
day. So I feel good about it. I feel like we can kind of stay, where we're at. We may not pick up a lot, but if we're just negative 20 right now, I feel good about that.
So did the numbers increase at Hill Avenue Wilson?
No. Unfortunately, the negative part is coming from those two schools. The other schools seem to be picking them up. Allen's is like at a plus 38 or something like that, so.
In the building fund, is it funded to put the furnishings and things like that in those classrooms too?
Yes.
Okay, that's good, because that would be a big chunk, for sure.
And that's the way we have to keep in mind also, because with the new funding formula too, every quarter they adjust. Is that the way that it goes now, Crystal? It used to, you went the entire year, now
They would
Take two.
pull 9 or 10 pulls throughout the year, so actually, they're essentially pulling it just about every month, looking at numbers.
to see if you're, and if you're decreasing, they can decrease your funding or increase it, however they need to do that.
Yeah.
All right, any more discussion? Reminders, 2025-2026 student board scholarship payments are due at the July meeting. And upcoming meetings, Overton County will host the 2026 TSBA Upper Cumberland Fall District meeting to be held Thursday, September 3rd at Livingston Academy CTE Lead Facility. And the TSBA Summer Law Institute is Friday, July the 17th, 2026 through Saturday, July the 18th at the Park Vista in Gatlinburg. Anybody have anything else? Let's call it a wrap. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Crystal, for the